Hello everyone, in this video I would like to talk about the mobilization that's going on in Russia. So if you didn't know, there is mobilization in Russia where they just take people to the war against their will. I mean, they send them an invitation and then they have to go to the military base or the military administration, and from there they send them to the war. I left Russia and I can't tell what's going on exactly there, but I met a friend recently. We have a friend here who left as well Russia with his family, and he has a business there, but he's still thinking about going back because he didn't want to give up on his business, and he said that if it will be like very hard now and they will really take people by force, etc., he may not come back, but he's thinking of coming back anyway. Because from what he said, they kind of send the invitation to people. And they don't just send the invitation, it's kind of in the law, they have to have it in their hands. So only in that way they will be obliged to go to the war. Even though if they will have that invitation in their hands and they will sign, etc., they can just don't go to the administration of the military administration, and they just have a fine. So they will have to pay a fine. And I guess the more times they don't go to the administration, the higher the fine will be. But what they do now to avoid getting that invitation, so or they change the place where they live, because usually the invitation they get at home. So like the policeman, they go to the residence, or I mean the place where you live, where people live there, and they give them that invitation and then they sign that they get it. That's why a lot of men, they prefer to not live in the address where they belong with the papers. But there is another issue. When people walk outside in the street, so they can be stopped and get that invitation. But he said, from what he said, I don't know, I wasn't there, so he said that they kind of give you an invitation even if you don't have to get it. That's why they have like people there, they have to be careful. Like the invitation that they give, maybe it's not the same or something like that. He said that they do something not right, like they can stop you outside, give you a kind of invitation or tell you to go to the place, and in the end when someone goes to the administration, they will have to go to the war. But from what he said as well, that only 10% from all people who get that the invitation, so they go there. So it's kind of, if someone have the invitation, so they can do a lot of things. They can leave the country first, they can change the address and just hide, really like criminals. Like if you don't want to go to the war, that means you are a criminal. I mean, the borders are still open and there is still chance that people can leave Russia. So I asked the guy this question: if they are so strict and they want to take everyone, why they don't stop people in the borders and check them, or in the airports, etc.? So he said that the system is not working very well and they are not organized, and they have like something new, they are like testing, experimenting, something like that, because people in Russia, usually they don't serve in the same region. I don't know why it's done, but usually when they take people to serve in the army, they don't serve at the same region where they live, but they serve in other places far from their native place, maybe thousands of kilometers or maybe hundreds of kilometers, it depends. So who are in the biggest risk of mobilization? From what I know, first of all, of course, people who are already in the army, so people who are already serving, so they could be sent there. Other people who also already served and they have the a military ticket, they call it, and the specialties that they need in the army. I don't know what kind of specialties they need, but usually they take people from those specialties. The guy also said that they can find people at work, they can find them everywhere. I mean, like, man, in Russia, it's, I mean, risky for them just to walk in the street. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, just you walk in the street and they can just stop you and give you that invitation. I don't know what kind of invitation is that. So it's kind of thing that you want to do or not, because if you sign the document, that means you take the full responsibility of what will happen to you, so it's okay. But if you don't sign the document, it's kind of they can do for you, so you are not taking the responsibility. Maybe the same, it's what's going on with the mobilization. Maybe it's also a kind of, if you want to go, so go. I mean, they count on those people who go by themselves, because there are people who, for example, brainwashed and they just go by themselves. But not all of people, and there are a lot of people who get the invitation and avoid to go, or do their best to not get it at all. So this guy, he said they looked for him at home and didn't find him home. And I told him why they don't go to the work to find you, why they don't, I mean, find you otherwise. Or for example, he said that he rented his apartment. So I've told him why they don't interrogate, for example, people who you rented to, and they ask them, tell us where is this guy, unless, I mean, if you will not work with us and tell us where is this guy, you will get in trouble. I mean, they are not that strict at the same time, and at the same time they are strict, so it's something weird, something strange. I don't know what's going on there. And there are many different kind of stories of people. So people, they do their best to avoid getting that invitation. They do their best to not go to the war. They do their best to not go to the military administration. They do also their best maybe to leave. And I think not all people have the opportunity to leave. Maybe they don't have money. Maybe they don't speak the language. Maybe a lot of things. Maybe they are afraid to lose work. They are afraid to change the country. They are afraid to not find work outside the country. They are afraid of all the struggles, and we are passing all those struggles now. We were in Georgia, we went to Dubai, now we are in Turkey, and we don't know if we will stay here or not, because they will not give us maybe a residence. We are not sure about that, and we may leave to another country, and we may struggle. Of course, all this struggle, like a lot of people said, like it's better than going to the war. But anyway, it's not that easy, and we are passing all this, and we decided, we choose this path, and we will continue taking it. And just wish us luck, and thank you for watching. See you in my next videos, and goodbye.